A narrow passage, an artery through which 21 million barrels of oil flow every single day, nearly 1/3 of all seaborne oil traded globally. This is the Strait of Hormuz, the beating heart of the world's energy system. Now imagine this vital artery being choked, not by a traditional naval fleet, but by swarms of small, autonomous, and lethal maritime drones. This is not science fiction. This is Iran's emerging strategy in the Persian Gulf. But can Iran truly upend the region's security equation through naval drone swarms? And more importantly, are we witnessing a replay of the Houthi Red Sea scenario, this time on a far larger and more destructive scale? In this video, we take the deepest possible dive into the core of this emerging threat. Section 1. The strategic test of the Strait of Hormuz. The critical choke point. The Strait of Hormuz is not merely a waterway, it is a global lifeline. Any serious disruption here would send an immediate shock through the world economy, rapidly driving oil prices to staggering heights and paralyzing global supply chains. The repercussions would stretch from Europe's energy security to economic slowdowns across Asia. This is precisely why disruptions caused by the Houthis in the Red Sea and Bab el-Mandeb have become so sensitive. But there is one crucial difference. The volume of energy passing through Hormuz is several times greater than that of the Red Sea. A threat to Hormuz is therefore an existential threat to the global economy. Historical flashpoints. The history of the Strait of Hormuz is saturated with moments of crisis: the tanker war of the 1980s, repeated Iranian threats to close the strait, naval confrontations with the United States, and direct military incidents. This record proves that the waterway is inherently unstable. The comparison to today's Red Sea is not far-fetched. A regional actor using relatively asymmetric and low-cost weapons has created a serious threat to a vital maritime route. What is unfolding in Hormuz, however, takes this pattern to an entirely new level of complexity. Iran's enduring advantage. Iran's coastline dominates a strait that narrows to just 33 kilometers at its tightest point. This grants Iran inherent control over the waterway, much as Yemen's geography enables the Houthis to threaten Bab el-Mandeb. But Iran has combined this geographic advantage with an innovative military architecture, one no longer dependent on expensive destroyers or submarines. Section 2. Iran's asymmetric awakening. The strategic shift. For decades, Iran's navy dreamed of becoming a blue water fleet, an ambition constrained by technology and budgetary limitations. Over the past 2 decades, however, a fundamental paradigm shift has occurred. A move away from traditional aspirations toward low-cost, highly proliferable offensive systems with strategic impact. This is the essence of asymmetric warfare. If the Houthis demonstrated how cruise missiles and individual drones can disrupt vast areas, Iran is now developing a more advanced and concentrated version of the same idea, specifically tailored to the maritime domain. The Armed Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps' vision. This transformation is the direct product of Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps thinking. For the Armed Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, naval power is not merely a military tool, it is an expression of revolutionary ideology and resistance. Their goal is deterrence through disruption. This strategy aligns perfectly with Iran's proxy warfare model, creating multi-front threats that entangle the enemy, primarily the United States and its allies, drain its resources, and erode political will. The Red Sea has become a live laboratory for this strategy. The Strait of Hormuz could be its final proving ground. The Red Wasp Fleet Doctrine. At the core of this strategy lies the doctrine of the Red Wasp Fleet, or mass deterrence. Initially, small, fast-armed attack boats formed the first wave. Now, a new generation of weapons has entered the arena: unmanned surface vehicles, USVs, and unmanned underwater vehicles, UUVs. These drones form the backbone of Iran's anti-access area denial strategy. Like wasps, they can harass, sting, and potentially cripple maritime giants. This represents a far more sophisticated and dangerous evolution of the Houthis' direct missile attacks. Section 3. The Drone Swarm Threat: Capabilities and Tactics. The evolution of Iranian naval drones. Iran unveiled its first remotely controlled naval drones over a decade ago. Recent platforms, such as the Shahed and Wali Asr, however, indicate a qualitative leap. These systems reportedly feature more advanced navigation, higher-resolution sensors, and potentially networked communications. They can travel farther, remain at sea longer, and track targets with greater precision. This level of sophistication far exceeds the relatively rudimentary drones and missiles employed by the Houthis in the Red Sea. The challenge of swarm coordination. The apex of this threat lies in swarming. Imagine dozens or even hundreds of autonomous maritime drones attacking a carrier strike group or congested shipping lanes from multiple directions. Achieving true, independent swarm intelligence remains Iran's greatest technical hurdle. Can these drones communicate in real time, adapt tactics dynamically, and withstand electronic countermeasures? Or will they remain limited to mass but uncoordinated attacks, similar to the Houthis' numerous yet discreet strikes? This is the central question. Disrupting the giants. Even a semi-intelligent swarm is a nightmare scenario. These small, low-profile drones challenge radar systems. Destroying them with million-dollar missiles represents an obvious economic defeat. They can degrade ship sensors, restrict maneuverability, and generate chaos. Amid this confusion, a single drone reaching the hull of a tanker or warship could cause an explosion with catastrophic consequences. The scale of potential disruption in Hormuz would completely eclipse current shipping diversions in the Red Sea. Section 4. Countering the Swarm: Responses and Dilemmas. Hard kill versus soft kill. What can the U.S. Navy and its allies do? The answer lies in two domains: hard kill and soft kill. Hard kill involves physical destruction using kinetic weapons such as autocannons, high-energy lasers, or short-range missiles. The more effective solution, however, may be soft kill, electronic warfare to disrupt communications and guidance, or cyber operations to compromise control networks. This approach is far more complex than intercepting Houthi missiles with traditional air defense systems. The cost exchange problem. Here lies the fundamental dilemma: the cost exchange problem. Iran can produce dozens of maritime drones for tens or hundreds of thousands of dollars. Each defensive missile intercept or seconds of high-energy laser use can cost millions. Economically, this is a losing game for the defender. This imbalance makes drone swarms one of the most difficult military challenges of the modern era, a problem already visible in the Red Sea but vastly magnified in Hormuz. Rules of engagement in a swarm attack. Another layer of complexity is legal and ethical. If dozens of small, fast-moving objects approach a fleet, how can commanders instantly distinguish armed drones from innocent fishing boats? If the drones operate autonomously, who bears responsibility for the attack? These questions blur the lines of lawful engagement. Compared to identifying the launch point of a Houthi missile, this scenario is infinitely more ambiguous. Section 5. The Future of Hormuz, a New Maritime Reality. Escalation Risks. The presence of drone swarms dangerously lowers the threshold for conflict. A minor miscalculation, misunderstanding, or rogue action could rapidly escalate into full-scale confrontation. This environment of amplified paranoia dramatically increases the risk of misjudgment. Unlike the relatively contained Red Sea conflict, the Strait of Hormuz holds the potential to ignite a far wider regional war. Impact on global trade. Any conflict in Hormuz, regardless of the military victor, would be catastrophic for the global economy. Even without a formal closure of the strait, rising insurance premiums, prolonged rerouting, and fear of attack could severely disrupt oil flows and keep prices elevated for extended periods. This impact would be far deeper and longer-lasting than current Red Sea diversions around Africa. Beyond Hormuz, a new model. Finally, Iran's naval drone development may establish a global template. This technology is relatively accessible and cost-effective. Other states or non-state actors facing stronger adversaries may replicate it. We are witnessing the democratization of maritime threats. Iran is demonstrating how asymmetric tactics pioneered by groups like the Houthis can be elevated through technology into a regional strategic weapon. Are we witnessing the birth of an entirely new paradigm in naval warfare? The Strait of Hormuz is no longer just a stage for destroyers and missiles. It is now a battleground of algorithms, autonomous swarms, and cost-benefit calculations. By investing in naval drone swarms, Iran is writing a new chapter in asymmetric maritime warfare. This threat is real, evolving, and profoundly challenging for traditional naval powers. The future of global energy security may be as small as a 4-meter maritime drone. What do you think? Are naval drone swarms truly a game changer or a limited threat that can be contained? What lessons from the Red Sea apply to Hormuz? Share your views in the comments. If you found this analysis valuable, please like the video. It helps us produce more content like this. And for more strategic and analytical videos on global security and defense technology, don't forget to subscribe. Thank you for watching. Until the next video, goodbye.